It's like a car crash. You gotta look away. It ain't pretty. There's nothing, there's nothing new. There's nothing exciting here. It smells just like this. This is actually the Apple Mango Tango Gain, which is actually really a great set, by the way, if you are going to wash your clothes. Hey YouTube fragrance family, welcome to another Robes 08 fragrance review. Today I'm going to be tackling putting my nose on the house of Dolce Gabbana and their recent addition to the original classic Pour Homme lineup. This one called Pour Homme Intenso EDP format. So let's see how this one goes against the rest. Intenso hit the shelves in 2014. Bottle sizes, there's tons of them. The one you see right here is the 1.3 ounce, so it's the little baby one. They also have a 2.5 ounce, 4.2 ounce, and the big boy, the 6.7 ounce bottles. Concentration is eau de parfum. Flankers, it is a flanker of the original Pour Homme. Pricing online varies quite a bit. Retail, you're looking at around $30 to almost $130 for the 6.7 ounce. So definitely shop around. It's been on the market now for a few years, so discounters, go take a look. My bottle from Fragrance X, I think, was Canadian, around 30, give or take, so that's not too bad for what you get. Now let's take a look at the notes, and as you can see, there's actually quite a bit of notes in Intenso. A lot of notes in this particular fragrance that I want to take a look at is the Hey Absolute, of course, and the Maple Accord. Maple Accord is something new in the fragrance game, has an animalic, floral, balsamic, honey tobacco-like smell to a particular fragrance, and it does do its trick here in Intenso. Not so much animalic, but it will pull a lot of the honey tobacco floral aspect of the Maple Accord. Bran also is an interesting note in this fragrance. Now the major notes to this particular nose is lavender. This is a lavender laden fragrance. The aquatic notes also, it has a watery base to the fragrance. The haze also a big portion of this particular fragrance, and in the dry down, the Maple Accord, which I talked about in the notes. Group, this is the woody aromatic fragrance. How many sprays and where? I go 1 on the chest as usual, 2 on the neck, so 1 on each side here, as you can see, and 2 on the arm. So I'm wearing a t-shirt. I will go inner elbows with this fragrance right here. And I can already smell that floral aspect of Intenso, and I can't wait to let you guys know what I smell. Now, Intenso, in a nutshell, I have it right here. And upon sniffing this fragrance and wearing it out quite a bit, this fragrance is, to me, an obvious letdown in name. Intenso, there's nothing intense here. In vision, I really thought that it was going to be an intense version of the classic original. I was super uber excited about a new release of the Pour Homme because I wore that one in high school, college type deal. So it was something that I really was interested in smelling. The packaging is beautiful. I love the dark bottle. Everything in presentation form I was very much excited about. Unfortunately, also, it was a letdown in EDP format, which I'll get back to you guys on that. But really, what is important in a scent, I'll put you away. What's important in the scent is, of course, the scent itself. It's not about the presentation. It's not about, it's a flanker of one of my favorites. That brings the bar a little higher. So, did it disappoint? Yes, 100%. But let's put all that stuff aside because I want to talk to you guys about the scent. So let's take a look at the introduction. Now, first sniff, this fragrance gave me freshness. That's all it gave me. And I was like, ooh, Intenso, not so much. Very much a fresh scent. I was kind of hoping something a little darker. It has a pinch of light citrus in the opening with a good amount of floral aspects and a continuing aquatic theme. It really felt like this aquatic theme, not a major player in this particular fragrance, but it stayed throughout the fragrance. The lavender is the primary note in this fragrance throughout, and especially in the opening. It dominates the scent almost throughout the scent. It really does. You're going to get a little bit of different pictures with this fragrance, but really the lavender is the dominant note in this fragrance. The lavender in Intenso is In my days of sniffing out fragrances, this is a fairly poor lavender. It reminds me of laundry detergent, which ruins the scent immediately for me. Intenso in the opening smells laundry clean, fresh, soapy, and in my opinion, fairly cheap. It smells like what your t-shirt is supposed to smell like. It really does. It's not going to offend per se. No, it just smells like something that you can buy for $5, and that's the problem here. Are you going to be paying $100 for a particular fragrance that can smell like your laundry detergent, a good laundry detergent on your clothes? I don't know. I don't know if I would want that. So if the main theme of your scent ruins it for you, it has quite an uphill battle. And Intenso, for that reason, had quite a huge battle to try to get my attention somehow, and it really didn't. It failed me in a lot of manners. The one thing I did like about Intenso is that it steals quite a bit from the classic Puram. It is not exactly the same, no, hardly really that close, but it does steal quite a bit of what the classic Puram was all about. Very much a signature scent, easy to wear, something that you can just splash on. This is what this is about. And Puram was one of my top scents in the 90s. However, it's not the 90s anymore. And this reminds me of the 90s, actually, which, again, does not bode well for a fragrance that was a brand new release just a few years back. So really not a new idea. Once I got into the dry down of Intenso, this is where it actually came up a little bit in my books. I don't get much tobacco. A lot of people talk about the tobacco in this. It's big, it's beautiful, it's punching. It's a lighter tobacco from my nose, a fresher tobacco. It's being pinned against the lavender, and the lavender is winning. This is compared to Chergui quite a bit from Serge Lutens, a niche fragrance, basically a classic fragrance in the niche game, a tobacco, hay honeyed fragrance. Man, no, and hell no. Who in their right mind says that this smells like Chergui? I don't know. It really does not. This tobacco in this fragrance smells like a leafy herbal tobacco, like Versace's The Dreamer. If I could pin this against another designer scent, again, a 90s baby, The Dreamer, and this is where this theme comes into play. It really feels like something that was released 20 years back. The Mopal Accord. Mopal's your main culprit here, giving out that honey tobacco scent in this fragrance. The hay here gives the scent some dryness. However, it was not a great hay note per se. I've smelt better. It works well with this theme as it's been utilized before, but it's really nothing new in the fragrance game. I much prefer the dry down of this scent than the introduction in the mid, and it did take quite a bit of time for me to really find something that stood out in the scent and truly felt like it takes a bit from older scents and threw it out in the market, and they wanted to just kind of see if it was going to stick or that the 90s were coming back. I really felt overall with Intenso, not only was I disappointed in a lot of things, EDP push, you know, the name, the vision and everything together, but the set itself was the biggest disappointment in Intenso. Now let's take a look at recommended age. Recommended age for Intenso, easy, anybody. I think older men can pull this off. I actually think older men will like this more. It's going to make them think of the 90s. And that's what I really think. So in the comments below, if you like this scent, state your age. I just want to see, I know there is going to be some teenagers going to be like, I love this scent and I'm only 16. Yeah, it really is an easy scent to love. I'm just comparing it versus the rest of the scents in the world, and this thing is a disappointment. So recommended age, anybody. Older gentlemen right down to the youngins. Fragrances that do remind me of this, Dolce Gabbana pour Homme, Chergui, not on this level. If Chergui, they shouldn't be talked about in the same vein, I'll be honest. Chergui's on way up here, and Intenso is like down here, you can't even see it. Best time to wear this particular fragrance, definitely a daily wear, work, casual type scent. I can't see this as a date or anything like that. It doesn't have any sensual notes in this fragrance. I never really felt like I was standing out with this fragrance. I just felt clean. It is what it is. I got a lot of clean scents and some that do it much better than this, and this is why I'm not really gravitating towards this one. Seasons, mostly spring, summer, and fall. You know, it really is in that genre. It can be signature scent. If you're wearing it at work, you can wear it all year round at work. Development, linear, average, or complex? Fairly average. I mean, it really did move from the introduction. It really did start giving out a different theme more into the dry down, so I'm going to give it an average development. Work appropriate, definitely 100% work appropriate. Signature scent worthy, yes, 100% also. Let's get into the rating system. Let's take a look at how Intenso does on my rating system. So let's start with projection longevity, because these are two knocks on this particular fragrance. Projection, 5 bottles out of 10. It is a moderate to skin scent. It never really jumps out. The first hour I wear it, yes, people can smell me, especially I'm indoors and I just sprayed it. Oh, obviously. But once I start going out a little bit more, couple hours in, it starts fading and fading fast. Longevity, 5 bottles out of 10. Pretty good longevity. It did get a lot of knocks online in regards to longevity. I think it's fairly average, and that's why I got a 5. 5 to 7 hours. Yes, it's missing my 7 to 9, but it will perform mostly during your work day. So if you're looking at like an 8-hour work day, it's probably going to be dead at the end of the day. However, it did perform, you know, well after lunch. Compliment factor, 5 bottles out of 10 here too. Nothing crazy here, nothing really to report, nothing bad, nothing great. As far as conversations go with people that do know that I have a YouTube channel, I had some mixed reports, but nothing, again, I did not sell a bottle and I didn't get a really terrible feedback from this fragrance. I did get some that agreed with me or felt the same way as I did, as far as it just smells nice. It smells like a fabric softener or something like that. Uniqueness, this is where it takes a huge dive. 2 bottles out of 10. It's not there. The uniqueness is not there. This is not unique. This is the 90s baby. That's what it smells like. Pricing versus what you get, 4 bottles out of 10. Again, I don't think you're getting much for your money here. That's why the low score. Versatility, 6 bottles out of 10. Fairly versatile, we'll say. So that's why it gets a 6, and that goes to smell, 5 bottles out of 10. Again, average. It's not the worst in the game, but it's not even close to sniffing the best in the game. And that goes to an overall score, 4 bottles out of 10 for Dolce Gabbana's Homme Intenso. Unfortunately for Intenso, you are not going to, let's say, beat your big brother. If you have never smelt this, or you have never heard of the Homme, and you've heard of this because it's a newer release, go check this one out. I know a lot of people poo-poo on reformulations and things like that. This bottle has been changed since I bought this back in 2008, I think. So it's an older bottle. They revamped them. So definitely go check out the Homme. It is a classic, and some people may say it's stuck in the 90s, but a really great scent that I absolutely love is Dolce Gabbana Homme. And that goes to buy, try, or pass. Intenso gets the pass treatment. See you later, buddy. You're no good. You're no good to me. Overall, not Intenso. She's weako. I love the presentation. I love the box. It still has the fuzzy box from the original Dolce Gabbana Homme. It was the blue box before, and I'm like, oh, warm and fuzzy feeling coming back. I bring out the bottle. I'm like, beautiful color. I love the gold lettering, and I love the cap here and everything about it. I was really hoping, and I know a lot of frag heads out there was really hoping for a darker Homme. Never happened. If you own the original and want something intense, this isn't it. The reviews are all over the place online for Intenso. Some people think it's up on a pedestal and it's a Ventus godlike creature, and others absolutely bash it. I don't think it's worth your hard-earned money, to be quite honest with you, and that's all it is my honesty. I'm not going to bash it. It's not not the worst fragrance on the market. It didn't get a 1 out of 10 out of me. But it's bad. So why the big differences in people loving it and hating it? Well, why the love? Let's start there. Why do people love that? Well, it's an old recipe. It worked. It may bring you back to an old favorite. I'm looking at you, the 30 plus lovers there. I know you. You guys the same age as me or older are going to love this. It's going to make you think of the 90s, which are probably the ones that are loving this fragrance. To me, it felt like the 90s. It's nothing new. The lavender is the main note here. Did not work for me on my skin. The Mopal tried to do a tobacco honey, like a Chergui-like feel, and technically kind of failed to me. I really didn't enjoy that. There's better in the game. Chergui case in point right there. On all aspect, this release is just a 4 out of 10 that I gave it on the Richter scale. Signature scent worthy, yes. But if you're looking to stand out, and that is the important thing, as something that is you and something that stands out, it is worth the money. I don't think this is it, in my personal opinion. So thank you for watching my review on Intenso by Dolce Gabbana. And if you wish to see the presentation in depth, please stick around. And remember, a great or poor fragrance will make a lasting impression. You gotta choose your scent wisely. Thank you. Now I just want to take some time to thank my partner FragranceX.com for the bottle of Intenso by Dolce Gabbana. If you want to ignore me and say, Mark, I love Intenso and I want to get a bottle right now, you can go to FragranceX.com. Use my code ROBES08 and you can get, I know that they have multiple bottle sizes in stock at FragranceX, so go check them out. Now let's take a look at the presentation of the box first, and as you can see, it has that kind of felt-like box feel that the original classic Put-On had. So very nice. I love the gold lettering on it. It doesn't really have that much information. Some in the back here, and of course at the bottom. So looking at the bottle, I love the presentation. You got your dark brown bottle, you got the gold lettering, you got your bronzed up cap here. Really nice presentation. You got to give them props for that. You got the sticker at the bottom. If I remove the cap, it does have some thickness to it, so you can't really bend it. Plastic though. And the atomizer is, of course, bronze, just like the cap. And as you can see, or not see, atomizer is pretty decent on this bottle of Intenso.